and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and we have the recording on, so
Say the time again.
6:49, and just everybody just announce your name loud enough for the. We'll start here.
No. Missy Roseanne.
Doug Tomasini.
Luann Villarreal.
Michelle Hessler.
Lynette Fetterspill.
Julie Ramirez.
Okay, and also in attendance is Chris, the Public Works / Animal Control Officer, and our City Clerk. Okay, and I think that she wanted to talk right about now. Mickey wanted us to call her and put her on speakerphone.
Yes, ma'am.
You are on speakerphone. We have Alderman Tomasini, Luann Villarreal, Michelle Hessler, Lynette Fetterspill, Julie Ramirez, Missy Burson, myself, and Chris.
Oh, welcome everybody.
Hey, Mickey.
Thanks for coming, and I wish I could be there, but unfortunately I threw my back out last week and can barely move, so I can't make it down there tonight. But I did want to thank all of you for stepping up and volunteering to work on the committee. It's going to be very, very important in getting things going for our city. And each of you, just based on what I've witnessed on the things that you do for the community related to animals, I thought that you each would make a perfect member of the committee, and I hope that anything that you think that we need to do, please run it through Alderman Tomasini. He's going to be the chair for the committee, and we'll bring back your recommendations to the council for consideration. And then Catherine was kind enough to put together some information for each of you that is the state statute as it relates to animal control, a copy of our ordinance on animal control, and also the ordinance forming the committee. So it's a good reference document or set of documents for each of you. And other than that, I'm certainly open to innovative and creative ways of addressing the problem. And what I would hope to get from this tonight are some recommendations for veterinarians. We're having a little challenge trying to find a veterinarian that wants to work with us, and our ordinance requires that we have one. In addition, I know Lynette, I've spoken with you about it, the cages and crates that we have, those are out in the maintenance facility, so we'll have those available in addition to some of the traps. Do we need to start a rescue organization? Do we need to look at building our own facility? Do we need to mandate things like spay, neuter, and microchipping? Those are the types of topics that I'm looking to you guys to make recommendations to the council. And again, I thank you for coming in, and I apologize for not being able to be down there, but I'll make the next one for sure.
We hope you feel
Sounds
better.
good. Mickey, take care of yourself.
Okay. Well, y'all have fun.
See you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. And number 3 on the agenda is discuss and/or possible action on adopting Robert's Rules of Order as the parliamentary procedure utilized by the Animal Control Advisory Committee. And this is pretty much just what keeps a meeting running in order, in an orderly fashion. Because if we just make up our own rules as we go, it kind of gets confusing. So I'm sure all of y'all have heard about the Robert's Rules of Order. Mm-hmm. If you haven't, you can get on the internet and look at them and read them if you want to go to sleep. They're really long, but you can get an abbreviated version that just gives the main points of it. And anybody else want to say anything about it? Because this is discuss and or possible action. So we have to vote to either, there has to be a motion to either accept the Robert's Rules of Orders or not. I can't make a motion.
Does everybody know about that? The Robert's Rules?
No, but
No,
So
I
guess
don't
we would-
either.
We would
but
have to
that's-
wait till.
I can pull it up. and-
It's pretty much how every city does their meetings. Gosh, that Robert's Rules of Orders have been around, gosh, for probably 100 years. And it's just an orderly way to do meetings. It's one of the, it's stuff like you got to have a quorum to meet. You got to make motions, you got to have votes,
You have
it's,
to have someone recording the meeting.
yeah,
Minutes.
Okay, so
that's-
I didn't never
basically
know it
is-
had a name like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's what it is.
Basically how the meeting would be set up to run.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay,
Got it.
yeah.
that's what it is.
Efficiently, yeah.
Got it.
I make a motion that,
I agree.
Okay.
Missy made a motion.
And one of the things is, it has to be seconded.
I second it.
Okay.
Who did?
right, Luann.
Luann
I
did.
did.
Okay.
And if you just Google Robert's Rule of Orders, it'll tell you. I think another thing also is, like if we did have an audience, they wouldn't be able to participate in the meeting. They can
They can listen.
listen. If we had citizens to speak, that's when they could
Yeah.
address or ask questions. We don't have to answer them, but
Actually, we're not supposed to, really.
yeah, unless it's, and you can't talk about anything that's outside of the agenda. So if another topic arises during one of the agenda items, then someone might have to say, it's not on the agenda, we can't go there.
Yeah, that sort of,
And then you
it
can
keeps a meeting
schedule
on
it for the
track.
next time.
Sure, if you,
It
yeah.
helps. It helps to keep a meeting on track and, it doesn't, the conversation doesn't wander,
Right.
to all these different things. And it depends on how specific the agenda item is. Sometimes agenda items will allow you to talk for a long time, about multiple areas, and sometimes they're very specific and you can't, so it's kind of like that. Okay, so everybody in favor of adopting Robert's Rules of Order? Raise your hand. And it is. Hey, we made our first decision. We're rolling right along here. Okay. Number 4, discuss and or possible action on establishing procedures related to committee agendas, meetings, and minutes. This has a lot to do with the number 3. Procedures, I can't anticipate everything that we might run into, so I don't know if we can come up with everything at this meeting, how we're going to do procedures right now, but we can always change it.
Amend it, add to it.
Yeah, amend it, add to it, that sort of thing. Are we going to want people to research things, give people like assignments, kind of like we do on the city council? We'll tell somebody to do this or that, and let them do it. They'll volunteer for it or not, that sort of thing. Agendas are pretty much have to be like the agenda right here. There can't be a lot of difference in the agendas. Because we have to meet the Opens Meeting Act? Is that the proper?
Open Meetings Act.
Is that what it's called? So we have to have meetings and agendas up 72 hours before meetings, that sort of thing.
No last minute things.
And we have to have somebody take the minutes. Catherine's doing it tonight. I don't know if you're going to do it every
I
time.
don't know.
But if not, we'll
I
have
think
a,
Mickey was gonna do it, or at least record it, but since she couldn't make it, I don't know who's gonna, I guess that'll be up to y'all if someone types them up.
yeah, we can either
I thought
type.
that I had heard that the mayor was supposed to be the note taker. Yeah.
I don't know. I know that
thought
the
I had heard
ordinance,
that in one of your
sure,
meetings.
unless
Well-
that was another meeting that they were scheduling. I looked at the ordinance to create the committee, and there's not really much about meetings itself.
What, does anybody want to do it? Does anybody want to type out minutes and do the minutes?
I can do
volunteer for that
it
one.
as long as it gets recorded if I'm not here. Between me and Mickey, we can get it recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if for
okay.
some reason she can, I'll back it up. I mean, if it's recorded, I can.
Okay.
If she can,
Yeah.
I'll back it up.
A lot of it is
We just have to make sure
Somebody's
doing it because we have to keep a record of it. And I guess that'll be kept here in City Hall.
Yeah, it stays on
In a
there and then I
file,
put it
yeah.
on a drive as
Oh,
well.
okay. Oh, okay.
And then they get typed up, they're on the internet and whatnot.
Okay. All right. And, for procedures for making recommendations, of course, anybody can give a recommendation. If you want something on the agenda, you just have to contact me and I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay.
That's all you have to do.
If you email them, just be sure to copy me if you
Yeah.
would, just so that
Okay.
way if
Will
I
you
can
put
get it
your
on the
email
agenda.
on here?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can do that.
I have yours.
Oh.
I
Oh.
have yours. Yeah.
Oh, you need yours. Okay.
It's just city clerk.
Okay. And also, if you don't want, you can't contact me, you can just get another committee member and just get together and as long as two have made a recommendation for an agenda item, it can be put on the agenda. So,
That's good.
so you don't have to contact me.
Okay.
As long as you have a co-sponsor,
Yeah,
it
as long
can go
as
on the
you have a
agenda.
Makes sense.
But you might want to contact me just to make sure it gets on there.
Right.
But that's
Keep
all.
you in the loophole, but as
Yeah.
long as,
And meetings, what day of the week do we want it? How often do we want to meet? I mean, that's kind of what number 8 says, but we're talking about procedures, so if we want to continue meeting on Mondays,
What's
That
good for
works for
y'all?
me. But yeah, either a Monday or a Tuesday is fine with me.
Okay. I know that somebody can't do it on Thursdays and Fridays, so we can't do Thursday or Friday. I can't remember
I'm
who
fine
it
with
is.
Monday. That's me.
Ah, Monday.
Mondays.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Which Monday of the month?
After the afternoon.
yeah, about
Yeah,
this
I
time.
just barely
Yeah.
made it, gotten home from work.
6:30? Okay, I know we're kind of doing number 8, but I think number 4 allows us to do this also because we're talking about
Getting it ready
procedures.
now.
Which Monday of the month or quarter or are you doing? it
Well,
monthly?
do y'all want to do it every month just for a while?
I
mean,
think we need to do it once a month until we have
Yeah.
things situated.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's a
maybe
good
twice a
idea,
month.
yeah.
At least for the
I would
for
do,
the beginning.
I think twice a month till we get things rolling, and once we have everything rolling and we're actually helping some animals out there and getting things done,
Slow
then
down.
we can go down to once a month. But I think for
Okay.
right now, there's so much going on that needs to be done.
Okay.
That I think twice a month would be good
That's
right
fine.
now.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah.
Okay, so right now, this is the fourth Monday, no, wait, I lied, this is
Third.
one, yeah, this is the fourth
Fourth.
Monday of the month.
Well, this is the last Monday of this month. We're going
Yeah.
into March already.
So do you want to do what,
So you
like
just
the
wanna say the
second and fourth, or the,
We can say first and last Monday? You want to do that? Well, no, that would be.
then it's
that would be-
back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, that would be back to, that wouldn't really, I don't think that would work, yeah.
Every other week.
Every other week. yeah.
First and third?
Or second and,
Second and fourth.
Yeah, we can
Because
do
that
it
would give
however.
you,
when do we have on the,
oh no, that would give us,
It's the second Thursday of every month.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we could do it the second Monday, that way we'd be meeting the same week
that would
as.
be, that would give us, for March would be the 11th and 25th.
Okay.
So it would be 2 weeks from now, technically.
yeah,
Yeah.
11th and 25th. and
So you want to do it the first, I mean, the
that
second,
okay?
Second and the fourth.
second and fourth?
Okay,
Is that okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. And like I said, we'll probably, as we run into things, we'll probably be able to give us, we'll probably get more procedures and,
and it'll be here unless
Yeah.
something
Oh, yeah,
changes in
yeah.
the future.
Get that on the record here at the City Hall. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Now, just remember, if you have a meeting Monday evening before the council, meeting. The agenda's already been created for that council meeting. So
Yeah.
if you are talk Monday evening about wanting to address council that same week on Thursday, it needed to have been put on the agenda.
Well, but we're also meeting on the 4th,
Yeah,
so that
I'm just
should,
saying, yeah, okay.
that should give us time to get something.
So in other
on.
words, the first meeting of the month is the most important one, if we want to add something onto the.
Yeah, be the 4th.
Well, it's the same, yeah, because it's the same week as the city council meeting.
We just
So
wouldn't be
it'll-
able to get anything new on the city council agenda on the second
On the
Monday.
second Monday of the month.
We would-
Yeah,
I mean,
because the agenda's already
Yeah.
posted by then, and you can't, after it's posted,
but we
you
would,
can't add to it or deviate from it.
but we would have that problem no matter when we had it. There would,
Right.
there would be a time when. we
So
wouldn't
maybe
be able
like
to-
on the fourth
Yeah.
Monday of the month,
Okay.
if y'all
When
want
we need to
to
be
have
ready when
any
we get here, yeah.
recommendations.
Be ready
then-
to add those on.
Then I can put it on the agenda for the city council meeting.
And trying to think of the problems we ran into with council meetings for procedures, and I can't really think of it.
I don't remember either.
Oh,
I can pull up this.
are they required to take that course for
I can ask.
that city council, that public meetings course? Or is that
Open
just?
meetings?
Yeah, or is that just for city officials? There may be a course that you have to take.
I can
It's just
ask
over the internet.
The attorney.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to ask. And you have like 6 months or something like that to do it, I can't remember. But it just explains, opens meetings and what kind of trouble you can get into if you don't follow the rules. And basically, you know, it's kind of what we've already mentioned. You can't discuss anything with as many as 2 other people. You can discuss something with 1 other person, because if you have 3 people talking about it, it's that quorum thing, and,
Okay.
you can't do it. And other things, like she was talking about a while ago, you can't discuss things that are not on the agenda. Even if you don't have to take it, you might just want to
A little knowledge.
Yeah,
Brush
take-
up on it
yeah,
to know exactly
take it anyway.
what's expected.
Because it doesn't cost anything,
Okay.
you just, and you get a nice little certificate.
I'll find out though and make sure we have to. And I'll
Yeah.
send y'all the link.
Okay.
I don't know if I have everyone's email addresses, but I can get them later.
Okay, can't think of anything else right now, but I'm sure there'll be other stuff, but. Okay, we got the minutes taken care of. Okay. All right, anything else? I guess not.
You need to, someone needs to nominate a vice chair in your absence.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not, well, it's okay. Discuss enter possible action on nominating and selecting a vice chairperson. And I can't make a,
You can nominate, you just can't.
well, I can nominate, but
Yeah.
I don't want to put anybody.
I know.
We'll ask for volunteers. And it's, what you would be doing is just preparing the agenda if you need to, make sure the agenda gets done. You would just be announcing the agenda items in a meeting like I'm doing right now. What else? Making sure everything gets recorded, making sure, it's not hard. I mean, it's not hard to do, of course.
And I think as vice chair, you can still vote, right?
Yes.
It's like a mayor pro tem.
Yeah, it's kind of like
can
a
still
mayor
vote.
pro tem or something like that, yeah. So,
Any volunteers?
is there any volunteers?
Vice chair.
If you don't want it, if you don't want to do it, then that's fine. I mean, we don't have to make a decision tonight. If you want to think about it, that's fine.
I don't mind doing it.
Oh,
It's just if
okay.
anybody else wants to do
Okay.
it. I mean, I don't mind doing it.
I think that'd be great, Luann.
I think so too. I second that motion.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
Actually, Lynette did.
Lynette?
Take it.
And Missy seconded?
Yeah.
What am I walking into here?
So now I guess we have to have all in favor of allowing Luann, Miss Villarreal to do it. And it is unanimous, what do you know? I thought you might have some competition.
Well, thank you. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but thank you.
Well, I mean, it's,
We all feel you're very capable. How about that?
Oh, okay, there you go. I'll take it.
Very good. Take it as a
and now
compliment.
we get to the big one.
Oof.
Discuss and/or possible action on animal control within the city. This is where we just give
That's
our.
the meat and butter
we
of this.
we give our brainstorm ideas a chance to do what we need to do. And,
This is it.
and if you have questions to ask Chris, I mean, he's here, you know, ask him. The animal controls, because there's a lot of rules in there, a lot of laws. I mean, there seems to be more rules about what you can do with a dog and a cat than there is what you can do with your own kid.
Unfortunately, that's usually the way it is. The laws that are designed to help you also hurt you sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a big old thick manual Chris had to study about like that.
Well, I'm glad you passed it. Hopefully we'll make some good use of it.
Next step is rabies shots, rabies vaccination.
Yes, he has to get some rabies. And
So before he can do anything, he has to get those rabies shots, right?
they recommend it.
Yeah, they
Which
recommend
is
it.
a series of
three,
3, right?
shots.
Yeah.
and it
That are
costs
painful?
about $1,200.
No, I don't think
In
so.
the stomach, right?
No,
Yeah.
they don't do it that way.
I don't know
anymore,
if they do it that way anymore,
No.
but it's not the most
And this
comfortable
is
thing to
not
enjoy.
after being bitten. These are the vaccinations.
Right,
Oh,
so if you
prior
get
to
bit
be bit.
during.
Yeah, this isn't
capsule.
after you have it. This is
And they're
Okay, good.
$1,200 to get.
Good.
they're
Total,
expensive.
$1,200.
They're
Lord.
expensive.
shot, so.
Yeah, over 300.
But,
And he's got to
So,
get it done within, I think.
does anybody have anything they want or ideas they want to? I mean, just say it. I mean, if anything.
I have one, and it's probably not going to ever be able to happen, but I think it would be a very good idea, and I don't know if it's possible. But you know how they seem to like to dump puppies over there off of Lamb Road? You know,
Is
that's
that where
like
they
the favorite
do they
dumping
dump a
ground.
lot over
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Lamb, and then out towards Priest going 1604 out because there's nothing there. I know it's kind of dark, but if there would be some kind of a way to put a camera on top of one or two of those poles, like I said, may not be able to be done. It would at least give us
A deterrent.
a deterrent and maybe capture a license plate or something. Because that is
Is
the
Lamb
dumping
Road
ground.
in our city?
No.
Oh, it's
I
not in
didn't
our
think so.
city.
No.
I mean, it would have to be within our city. It could face, I guess.
So maybe on Priest and on Priest and Lamb, because
Like
Priest
right
is in our
at the
city.
very end.
Yeah, the corner's
Right
in
there
our
at the
city.
corner.
At the-
So
yeah.
right at the corner, facing that way, facing going
down
towards
Priest.
Flores.
So it's where they dump a lot.
Oh
of it.
yes, there, and then on Lamb on Priest going towards 1604, because there's nothing there. There's
Yeah.
nobody there, and you can pass by there almost any time, and there are somebody there, a puppy, a cat, a dog, big dog, something there. You know, and then they just kind of migrate this way where the houses are because they're looking for food.
Right.
And you dump a lot of dead dogs there too.
Oh gosh, a lot of dead dogs there.
Really?
It's a burial ground. Yeah, they just put them off to the side of the road. They're already dead. So if there was a camera somewhere there, it would be a deterrent, like she says, and maybe capture a license plate or two. You know, so we could, I don't know, do something about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'd have to get Bear County involved in that, so.
But I mean,
But
I would.
That would,
Yeah.
maybe a partnership can be worked out with Bear County
Right.
in that aspect.
I would think there could be
Yeah.
something.
Oh, sure.
I would think, because it's illegal on both sides of the street, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we can say, hey, you know what, we have this guy and this is what we captured. What is your policy, what is your procedure to take care of this, you know? That was just
The
one.
challenge with cameras, though, is, well, one, if you get like a game camera, you've got a lot of cars that are just going to keep triggering it, and eventually the batteries are going to die or the card's going to fill up. You have to get it high enough so it doesn't get stolen. So it's not like you're going to go up there every week to try to get it down
Yeah.
to
And maybe,
to
I mean,
empty the card. But if you get another type of camera,
like a solar.
then you're going to need the recording device near the camera to record to get the information off of it. So then it's going to have to be in someone's house that lives
Well, I
right
know
there.
the people that live right there at the corner.
Okay.
I know the boys, I drop them off every day and I pick them up every day at school. And I know their mom. She works at the Dollar General.
Oh, okay.
So
I know
it's
you're
good
talking
to
about-
know, people. And
Right across from the intersection?
Yes, right, that house
T?
that's right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's very nice. So maybe, she wouldn't mind us setting up a
On her
little post,
property.
yeah. I don't think she'd have a problem with that,
That's a good idea, actually.
What's her name?
I don't know her name, but I walk
I
in
know
and she
you're
knows who I
talking
am.
about.
I know her kids, Damien, Jason, and Jessica. I know them, like,
Yeah.
but
Are
I
they
don't
the
know
ones that
her
live on
name.
the corner or across?
Right where you come out,
When you stop at the stop
the
sign?
house that's right in front.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they had the little pigs.
They had
I was
the
trying to
pigs,
capture
yeah.
pigs one time.
Bacon,
Oh, it might not be that.
bacon.
Yeah, I don't think that's,
City property.
they're not Sandy Oaks. I mean, I guess we could
I don't
maybe
think they would
still,
mind though.
But yeah, I don't
I-
think they are Sandy Oaks.
Would that be a problem, you think? If they agree to it,
I
I
think
mean.
so, I mean.
I don't know.
It's on them.
That's
I don't think she'd mind.
a good, one of those attorney questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I don't,
that was one. I have another idea. I don't mean to be hogging.
it's all right.
But is there
That's
any
why you're
way,
the vice chairman.
I'm thinking that there should be something that we can send out after permission, of course, like something that's if you have a pet, you need to have a fence. You have to find it, you have to.
I agree
You
with
have
that.
to, if you have a pet,
100%.
you have to have a fence. Now, I'm not saying chain your pet up because that's not what the idea is, but fence your property. Find a way to fence it. If you've lived in your house 20 years and you still don't have a fence and you're wondering where your dog went or your cat went, put a fence there. There has to be something that we can say, you know what, you have to have a fence. If you're going to have a pet, be a responsible pet owner and fence your house.
Well, the ordinance you'll see as you read through it, the animal ordinance, it tells you your dog has to be contained.
But is there anything we can do if it's
These are
not?
the ordinances
find
that y'all, like,
This
from
is
San
the-
Antonio, like,
No,
we,
these are Sandy Oaks.
These are Sandy
Sandy
our
Oaks.
ordinances,
Okay.
but I'm sure, they mirror other
Yeah.
cities'
I'm sure it's the
ordinances.
same.
Yeah, it's,
the same.
Because my next one that goes along with that is, once he gets going, he'll be picking pets up, right? So, and we're going to find them, yes, once they come pick up their pet.
well, see, there's that process too, because they can be fined for having a loose dog. But we have to have the court system in place first, which we're in the process of.
Okay,
So
'cause
the
that was-
marshal's hands are tied on who he can fine or ticket until we get the court in place. So right now, it's mainly gonna be Chris picking them up, and, if he could give them a warning, he's got a warning book. He can give them a warning, but it's without a fine. It would be
once we get
Chris's
the courting
decision if
system-
he goes ahead and says, no, I'm taking the dog, and you'll have to go pick it up at the vet, and it's gonna, before you get it, it's gonna have to be neutered,
Yes.
or
That was my next thing.
rabies.
All
Because
the
I
rest of
think if they, there has to be something, they can't just be able to go pick it up and then put it out there and it happens again.
Yeah.
There has to be a consequence for that. Maybe they'll learn, maybe they won't, maybe they'll just let the animal go, I don't know. But there has to be a consequence,
On Luann's comment, I was also thinking that we could have like a photo gallery type system, like mugshot type for one. And then a separate one for like, when somebody says, I lost my dog.
They can
or
go
my dog got
there.
out.
They can go there and see if it's been picked up.
Right, right. And just
That's
keep
good.
track of them.
there has to be a lost and found procedure in
course,
place.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Like a Facebook page, or
Or we have the next door app.
or
you
like
know,
on
for-
next door. Those are
you
the
know, but-
typical things. You post it on Facebook, you post it on all the lost and found pages, you post it on your next door, and then whatever y'all that Sandy Oaks provides, the
Yeah.
newsletter.
I wanted to expand a little bit more than the Facebook next door app, but by doing like a
Well,
I don't know, a
it would be
computer.
like for the Sandy Oak deal.
for Sandy Oaks, just
It'll
if
be
you
on our website.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
something
you
like
know,
that.
I've heard like Windcrest, within, I believe it's 24 hours of picking up an animal, they have to post it on their website.
Right.
They have
yeah.
to post it at their city hall. They put it up, a picture of the animal.
Yes.
And again, like y'all
To
said.
give the owner the
put it-
option to
exactly,
find it. But the thing is, there's some that want to find it and some that don't. So
And
that's
that-
that
And
thing.
that's
Then
that's
that's
when
on
they
them.
turn into the mugshots.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a rescue or.
Yeah, yeah.
And are we gonna be looking at making a facility? Or is that what your question is, to see, do we need a facility to house? Because, I mean, I'm totally against putting them down. I'm like 100% against it unless they're ill or their life expectancy or their quality of life is very poor, then, you know, you do what's in the best interest of the pet. But are we going to look at having a facility to keep them, house them, not for a long period of time, but just until either they come pick them up or we can find somewhere. I know with a vet, but the vet is going to get very costly. Very
It-
costly. So there
yeah.
has to be somewhere we put them, at least to give them a chance, to have somebody come and say, you know what, I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Temporary for, what do you think?
I
That's
don't know,
ideal.
like-
It's not,
like a
I don't,
week,
do
3
you
to
see
5
that in the
days.
near future, Doug?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I mean, just because of the.
But
All the
our
cost
procedure
of it.
right now is not,
Is me.
is
Well,
not.
yeah,
I'm not
Understand,
bailing the dogs
understand.
out so they don't
But
get
I mean-
euthanized, which has cost me a small fortune. So-
And right now, all we're doing is picking them up, wherever we find one, and taking it to the vet to hold for 3 days. Nobody sees that animal within that 3 days.
Right.
It's not put out there, no marketing, no nothing. That's
Unless the
not-
vet
that's
is doing
not-
it.
And they're not.
Yeah.
Gosh, they don't know.
They're not doing-
You ask them
yeah.
anything, they-
yeah.
We can't, that's just not right. And backing up a bit, our community, our city, these people don't know what we're doing. They don't know the procedures. They don't know
Well, I think that they're
this
just
is
getting
what's
started,
going
yeah.
to be happening. So this is basically your first warning. You know, you need to have your animals contained. Yes, that's something that they always should have been doing, but haven't and haven't had any repercussions up to now.
So I
you
guess that
can't
goes out
just
to my
go out
question,
and
yeah,
say,
are we
okay,
gonna
I'm
send
going to start
something?
picking up dogs left and right.
Right.
You know, if they're wandering in the street, we're going to pick them all up. And they've got 3 days and boom, they're all gone.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that's
guess
a
that
lot
one
of
goes
money
back
to
to
the
my question,
city.
like, are we gonna send something out? Is there a letter? Or how are they gonna know what's going on? You know, how are we gonna let them know?
I guess a lot of that is stipulated on when the marshal and the court system have the authority to do such.
Yeah, because right now
Because-
it's just a warning, so
Yeah.
it's all going to have to fall in place.
And even though it's an established ordinance, you can't enforce it unless you have
Unless they know
the
about it.
backup. Right.
Yeah,
Which
I mean,
is-
they'll know about it when we warn them or ticket them, but again, the
But up
ticketing
until then, that's
process
it.
is gonna wait until the court system gets established, but,
I
mean,
think they're
I-
asking is how is the community going to know
Yeah.
the decisions they need to be making to better their pet before they get the warning?
well, Mickey's thought on a lot of things that are changing is not abrupt change. It's
Sure.
educate, you
Sure.
know, first, you know, and then warn them, you know, and
But
then
how are we going
reinforce.
to educate them? Is my, I guess my
Well,
question.
again, like, you know, Chris could be out, you driving around and see a dog that obviously belongs to those people and stop and say, hey, you know, there is an ordinance in place. This is the ordinance number. He carries it with him. You know, these are the steps you need to take to, or, you know, you could be fined and worst case scenario, your dog could be picked up and, taken to the vet where you are gonna have to pay for the vet to get it euthanized, or not euthanized, I'm sorry.
Vetted.
Yeah. The, either spayed or neutered and shots and everything, but.
So how are
It
we
is gonna be a process.
differentiating between those that are getting picked up right now and those that belong to someone?
We're not yet going around picking them up necessarily. We're rescuing them, or citizens are trapping them and saying, this dog's in my yard.
Pretty much
I've
that's what's
trapped it.
happening.
Yeah,
Come
but I
get
think,
it.
but I think what they're
doing right
concerned
now.
about
rescuing
is we catch these dogs and we don't have any place to put a picture or something to let people know we have it.
That
I
they're
think,
dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's what
Right.
they're,
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
because it might be somebody's dog that
And they
just
might be
happened to
looking
get
for
out the
it. They
gate.
just don't know where to
and
find
they
it. I
don't
mean,
know where it
most
is.
some people do put it on the next door,
Yeah.
And when we catch it, I mean, we try to help and I go look, you know.
Yeah.
I've gone out, you know, many times and then I'm on my bus, there's a dog, come look, you know. So, I mean, we try, but how, you know, there has to be a way to let them know.
And I know one of the
Yeah.
other options we're gonna look into is getting Chris a chip reader, a universal chip reader.
Yeah, that's
so
gonna
that
be a
way,
big
you
plus,
know,
yeah.
someone does capture or trap a dog, we can scan
Yeah.
it, see if it's registered.
Because if we
contact
catch a
them.
dog that has a chip and then have it killed, that
Yeah, it's a big.
Yeah,
be a lot of
no.
trouble.
That's a huge lawsuit right there.
So, I mean,
Not something-
is there a possibility, a way, I mean, I guess the we're going around, how do you let these people know off the bat before Chris goes to tell them something, this is what they should be doing? They should be putting a fence in their yard. Is there a way to let them know
Between Chris and the marshal.
before Chris gets there?
Well, Chris isn't always going to be there to just pick up the animal. I mean, his first step is going to be to educate them and let them know.
On a
you know,
one-by-one
Is
basis.
this your dog?
That's
If
gonna
not, do
work.
you know whose it is? No. Then maybe he'll have to pick it up at that time if he can get it. If we have a scanner, scan it and then post the picture and try to go from there. But
And
I mean,
Yeah,
we
most
can't-
cities try enforcement first because it costs too much to pick one up and keep it.
Right.
So they do give a lot of warnings and
So will you be sending on a flyer, a notice or something in the mail
I
for
think-
what?
to let them know what they should be doing?
We could. I mean,
That's, I guess,
we
my
don't do
question,
that.
yeah.
Need to.
We don't
Need
do
to
that with all ordinances, but we
Well, since
could.
it's
Well,
such
with
a
the-
huge problem here, and
Yeah.
people have
It
moved
changed.
out here, and it's going to be a huge.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
add it to the
It's a
newsletter.
big change.
Right.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
going
Add
to
it to
say,
the
I know
newsletter.
Mickey's working on doing a quarterly newsletter, and I'll
Because
ask
you
her
understand
that
what I'm
that's a
saying now,
very-
right?
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, there has to be something that they say, oh, look at this, because they're not going to know any other way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to wait for him on a case by case basis. You know how many houses
Yeah.
are out here. So I want them to open it, you know, look at something and be like, oh, okay, well, you know what, honey, we need to finish that
Yeah.
fence, you know, or something.
Or put a runner up or something.
Something, you know,
Contain the dog. Get
yeah.
it neutered. And not just that, I mean,
That,
Don't tie up a
putting
female
Don't
and
tie
then
it up,
wait
and then
on,
she's stuck there when all these dogs come around, and she can't even run for her life and for
save
herself, you know.
Yeah.
They need to be,
Yeah, so that's where I was trying to get, and the newsletter.
yeah, the newsletter
I
is
missed
probably
the
the best
newsletter.
bet. Yeah.
You know.
I know she hasn't done one yet since she's been
Yeah.
in office.
Because
but-
I mean, if you wait for him, he's never going to be able to talk to everybody. It's impossible, you know.
No, and I think on that note too, that maybe Chris ought to be able to, when he's talking to somebody, to
Hand him
educate
something.
'em.
Give him something.
give them something, but also be able to take a picture of them and notate the
Yes.
address.
Yes.
That way, you'll know the next time
And if
around
this dog is
that it's
2 miles or 8 miles out the road, you're like, oh, you know what? I know where this dog goes. And then
Uh-huh.
you go and you say, you know what? This is the situation. This is the consequence. You know, now you've got a fine. I've got your dog. I already talked to you before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not running blind saying, oh my God, where does this dog go? You know?
Well, a lot of cities right now to help them with that are requiring chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
They chip them, they register
Because
them.
then
will
they
come
then
to
they
the
know
city
where the
hall.
dog
Yeah.
goes.
They get a picture of the dog and
Yep.
they register it with
Yeah.
the name, you know,
Yeah.
the owner's information, so
Like-
that if they are picked up, that's the first
know where
place
they
to
go,
go
yeah.
to
Yeah.
to be looking
like a
for who
child's
belongs
program.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay.
And
the
apply for a
people-
permit for, to
Exactly,
have the
a
dog.
permit but they have to be chipped, and I know, again, I'm sorry to reference Windcrest, but they've got a very orderly system. Chipping and having their pets spay and neutered and registering them. There's a fee to register
vaccinated.
their animals. And that fee will be waived if the dog is chipped and
And spayed.
Exactly.
That
And of
sounds
course,
good.
up to date on all their vaccines,
That sounds good.
so.
And, I mean, even in the ordinance, they're supposed to have their tags on them, you know,
Yeah.
so.
I was in contact. I have a lady that I talked to at the HSPCA, the one off of Fredericksburg Road, the non-kill, and she's trying to help me coordinate to get a neuter bus, spay and neuter bus out here.
That'd be
Although we're
nice.
outside San Antonio, but if I can talk to somebody that's just inside the loop to let us park there, she'll said she'll help me set it up.
What about,
Oh, because they only do it in the city?
Only in
No.
the city.
So
We gotta find
people could
somewhere
take
Yeah.
their
from
animals
here
to that
there,
location.
but they won't park outside.
And city limits is right there on
Yes,
Lamb Road.
yes.
and what about like?
that how far it goes now?
Pet shops.
I didn't know.
And,
Well, it's if the van, if I can get the bus out here, it will do the spay and neuter and the shots.
okay.
And
but
For
maybe
a low-
microchip.
this, what, Dawn had just posted something on Nextdoor a couple of days ago about a company called Pet Shots.
Yeah, but you have to
Oh,
take
yeah.
it there.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
okay,
mobile.
okay.
Yeah, I want
they're
a
not?
mobile. I
No.
want to try to get it because there's people out here that will do it, but they won't go in far
Yeah.
into San Antonio.
I
So
know
we're
I
trying to
won't.
coordinate. But tomorrow I'm gonna go see who I can talk to up in that area inside city that will let us park there.
And Mickey's even talked about that too,
Has she?
having
Yeah.
something like a van or something come
Yeah.
out. So you might want to talk to her about that, or I
Okay.
can let her know that you are talking to someone.
Yes.
Because she said even go so far as to maybe have like a transporters, like, oh, you can't make it?
Yeah.
Give me your dog, or
Yes.
come with me. I'll
Yes,
drive you
I'll
down
drive you
there,
down,
you
get
know,
it done,
some sort
yeah.
of a, transport
Yeah, because there are
service.
people that would love to have it done. They either one just don't have the transportation, two won't go.
Yeah, or don't
you know,
have the money.
or don't have
because
the
it's
money. So if
expensive.
we can get it
How much,
reasonably.
how much is a spay or?
It goes by weight. It goes by weight. So if it's like
Yeah.
under 20 pounds, it's like less than $20. But then you go
That's
to
not bad.
90 pounds and it goes up to about $85, $90 through that system. You go to regular vet, it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
I've been following Wellness on Wheels, and somebody asked about can't remember how much the dog weighed. It was like a 15-pound dog or 20-pound dog, and Wellness on Wheels charges $125
Yeah,
for
no.
that size dog. So
Yeah. And this one, with the HSPCA, it's also income based. And that's a big thing because like I ended up talking to her because my mother, she needed to put her dog down, the Chihuahua. She was like 20-something years old already.
Aw.
And my mom was just torn up about it. So I started emailing her and she helped us get through the process and we brought her home and buried her. And that's how I got to know her because she helped my mom. And that's when I asked her, she says, well, I can help you do that, but you've got to find somewhere that will allow us to park. She goes, we can't go
They only
outside.
take so many too, and if you're going to use the income base, you have to fill out an application.
Yeah, yeah,
it's-
and
it's
those
fine.
are all
They gotta
things
be-
that
It's only
we would coordinate and let the people know. I guess through through Nextdoor is probably going to be our best resource right now.
Because they can only do so many a week,
Yeah.
right? Like in one day.
Well, if she's lucky enough to get them to come out here, if that's a big if,
Yeah.
because it's going to be hard pressed. Those people are not super community based to come out and do those things.
Well, she's willing to get it if I can find someone to let us park there.
Right. Your next best bet is going to be reach out, which I can do, to SNPSA, who sponsors the Big Fix.
Snips?
SNPSA.
What's that?
Spay, neuter.
I forget what it stands
Something
for.
program.
It's
Oh,
SNP
it's
and
an
then
acronym?
SA.
Oh, it's an acronym.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an acronym. They do have a storefront in Monte Vista, but they would be the next best bet because they can do a mass spay and neuter. Like you drop off and they could do hundreds.
That would be
So
good.
that would be the next thing.
Gosh, how do they
And
do
they're mobile?
hundreds?
Last
They
year
would have to
did
set up
it.
like up at the high school. Like they take over the gym
Wow.
and they
Wow.
have 5 or 6 vets that do rapid spay and neuter
Wow.
and that they just roll them through there.
In and out.
Man,
and
I-
Wow.
They
That would
did that
be-
last year at St. Mary's.
But if they do it at the at the high school, then it's open for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just us. I mean, it's everywhere.
All of
But I
them,
mean, if
yeah.
we could get the word out to people here, it's just right here.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
It's not that
Well,
far.
I don't know everybody else, but most of the experiences I've had is that most of the dogs aren't strays, or just people that don't keep them in their yards.
That's a lot of what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of what it is.
It is.
That's probably 80% of it. You have a 10% of people that come from other areas and do drop
Dump
them. But the people that's what's my thing with the fencing.
Yeah.
They've got to keep them in their yard because the other day I was feeding some dogs that are abandoned, and the dogs from across the street. You know where I'm talking about. They have a fence, but the gaps are this big
It's a cattle
between.
fence.
It's a cattle fence, and they have little bitty dogs about this big. So the dog hears me pouring food into the bowl, and he
Uh-oh.
makes a
There he
beeline
goes.
across
Dinner.
Priest. Well, then he's going back, and the lady's flying down the road, and she's like, "I miss you,"
oh,
just to not
that-
hit the dog. And she's like, "You need to get your dog," and I'm like,
That-
"It's not my dog."
I saw that on next door. I
Yeah.
know exactly what incident you're
Yeah,
talking about.
and you know, so if you're gonna have small little ones, you need to keep them in your yard. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was that's what I wonder every time I drive through the neighborhood. It's like, why do they let the chihuahuas run out in the road?
Oh, yeah. all
I
the little
can't
ones.
see them until I'm like right up on them.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like you said, it's a lot of them are not strays. They just don't keep them in their
Yeah.
yard.
And a facility here would be great.
It would be.
That's a huge.
That would be a nice.
And my understanding, the regulations are very strict.
It's hard times to have a facility like you're opening yourself up to
Oh,
a dumping
wow.
ground. Pretty much is what happens.
A lot of cities don't have them because they're just too expensive.
It's hard
Yeah.
to keep up. It is very, very.
You have to be
expensive.
climate controlled and highly regulated. It would be ideal, but
It's a tough one. It's a tough situation.
luckily,
Well-
last week we had the pool area, someone captured a dog and we had to go pick it up. And instead of keeping it in a kennel until we could get it to the
Really
vet,
cool.
we went ahead and just
That was
put it in a yard, where
Yeah.
it could roam around and get fed and watered. So we take care of them while they're
But
in
what, we talked a lot about, but what can we do right now? I mean, does anybody have any ideas, like a priority, we have the money that we can do right now that'll help? Anybody have any ideas on that? I mean, because most of the things we've talked about take a while. And we have to start doing that right now, obviously, but
Well,
it's,
the thing is that there
We
are
need
a
to
lot
get
of
word out. That's
that.
what we
Well,
need
that's
to
the
do.
main thing. But there are a lot of animals out there that are just out there.
yeah.
You know, when I leave here, I'm gonna
Multiplying.
go feed them at a house. There's how many are there? 5? 5 of them. There was 6.
Oh,
One
I've-
got run over.
Oh, I've got
You know.
people live across the street from me have about 4 or 5 dogs and no fence.
Well,
like
this
you
house,
said.
nobody lives there,
And,
they just kind of all.
I don't know if
just
they're
camp
yelling
out
at their
there.
kids or their dogs half the time. They're
You know,
pretty
so really that's the big thing right now is we have
rough.
animals that need to be picked up and put somewhere that
Well,
I think
that's the biggest problem.
yeah,
Lynette
I think so. too.
and Julie, you guys got some really great connections and everything. Are there any other rescue people around that might help with?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can get somebody to help me. That's not a problem. I just have to have a cohesive plan. I just can't
What's
willy-nilly.
going to happen next?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I've been so lucky to place the dogs that I've had. I mean, I just placed that shepherd that was tied with the mama dog with the service dog school today.
Did you place?
And the owners came back, by the
No,
way.
she's at my house.
The owners came back.
For the dog?
No, just came back home. They've never asked about the dogs. But
Oh well.
Well, I let it sit at decent for a week. No lost and found posters were put up. No one, dog's not microchipped. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Dog's
Yeah.
mine now. Because she is now to me.
yeah.
That's where she went. So yes, can I get help? Absolutely. Do I have already asked my friends to help? Absolutely, with placement. What I need to know is, so we're picking up dogs. Like you have some at Oak Hills right now, and they have so many days.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Don't tell me that right now. So we have,
stretch
so they
it
have
till
so many
Wednesday.
days. Okay. So what I need to know until we get situated, are you going to keep using Oak Hills? Can y'all reach out to Deason?
We reached out to Deason. This is what I've heard because I'm not the one that reached out. I asked Dr. Deason, well, the lady that I spoke with, she said she would pass it on to Dr. Deason to call either our city administrator or the mayor.
Okay.
My understanding of the way the conversation went was they won't take animals that are not vaccinated.
No, they won't.
And I said, well,
Right.
will they vaccinate them? And the person that had the conversation said they don't want our dogs. So I don't know if how the conversation went.
What about Animal Crossing?
That's the other one I was gonna.
They're real small,
see
though. They're
about.
not going to have any place to hold anything.
But they do take in dogs though.
Oh, yeah. For sure they do.
Yeah. Because
I
you're
was just
closer with
thinking-
Decent, aren't you, than with,
I am. Do you have a connection there?
I mean, can
Maybe if you reached out
reach
to
out
him.
and see, are they really interested in a contract with us?
I can ask.
How do you
But there's-
spell decent?
DEASON.
I was trying to
Probably
make
the
it hard.
person you spoke to is his wife. She's the office manager.
The one I spoke with, she said that she had just come in. She worked 12 to 9 that day. Now, I don't know if she was the wife. Whoever answered
can-
the phone, she just said that she wasn't sure what Dr. Deason's schedule was like that day, but she would pass the message on and have him call either Ken or Mickey. And,
Well, are we having to beg Oak Hills to take them right now?
well, Oak Hills, I think because Deason probably has more room for more animals.
Oh, they do?
I
mean,
think
he's
they're
got-
more proactive.
He's got the whole outside.
And it sounds like they're there late too, because she
They're
said
open till
she was till 9. It sounds like they work harder at adoption than,
So what happens there, the adoptions that are run through there is by Wilson County. And who runs that is Brandy Barnett, and she's my girlfriend. I mean, we're friends. That's my connection to that. Will she help me move dogs out of here? Absolutely. But they have to be there's criteria, heartworm negative, they have to be not dog aggressive. There's certain things, as most rescues want. I mean, will she help
Will
me?
they-
Absolutely.
will they check that? Like if the dog,
I know
is-
I'll have to go do that.
you would have to check for heartworms first before they would
So
take
there
them?
needs to be a basic guideline, what you want the vet to check for. One, you always want to check for a chip first. Then you want to do a heartworm test next. And then the dog is going to have to be vaccinated with the basic vaccines.
Okay.
Most times a rescue will take it, if it's not spayed or neutered, that's not a huge deal. I mean, Brooks City Base offers a huge discount to rescues. Huge to get, which I'm going to see if I can get some waivers for that through a rescue. So, like God's Dogs, they have an endless amount.
Yeah.
So I'm going to message Debbie Davis and see if she'll give me some so we can use them out here until we can get started with a cohesive plan. Because I already have 3 mama dogs from out here that I've got to get fixed, that I've already taken their puppies, but the owners don't have the resources to get the moms fixed. So that's on there. But to find placement for the dogs, a heartworm test, and to start with vaccines is important.
But if we had
Is that
dogs,
just rabies or is it parvo and?
Rabies, you need the distemper parvo and a bordetella.
so you're saying if we had a dog and we didn't know if it was heartworm positive or negative, Deason would do all that and then?
You can set up whatever package you
Oh,
want
okay.
with them. Like if I went to them and I tried to work out a contract deal for you guys, and I set up the criteria of what we need, I don't see why they wouldn't help. The conversation may just have not gone well. I can't say,
Yeah,
but I can ask. I sure can.
if you would, that
I mean,
would be.
because
Yeah.
it's,
It'll help me a lot.
It's
They're open
business
till
for them.
9. I have a personal account there. I can go and talk to them. I've spent a lot of money there, so I'm sure not some by people take their livestock, so I'm sure it's a drop in the bucket. But I mean, I have a history of paying my bill, so at least I think I have a seat at the table. They'll talk to me.
And she said that they used to have a contract with Elmendorf. Deason did, with the city of Elmendorf, but when they changed city administrators, something happened with the contract. So Elmendorf used to use Deason's.
they've stopped doing a lot of this stuff that they were doing
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Weren't the dogs from Elmendorf? Don't they go to Converse?
Selma.
It's
Selma.
But Selma went to no kill as much as they could, so that they were full a lot. They just didn't have space.
All right. Michelle Holdgren, I believe, is who runs that. I know her.
In Selma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we had a interlocal agreement with Elmendorf, that Elmendorf would take ours,
That's what I
and then
thought, right.
Elmendorf would take, and then Selma would take Elmendorf's, but then if Selma's filled up, then that means Elmendorf is filled up, which means they can't help us, so
Right.
it just became,
Because Selma's, they only can keep, gosh, probably at the most 10 dogs.
I was going to say it's real small.
It's real small.
and Elmendorf was what, like three dogs?
Well, they don't really have a facility. They just have, they had a building that says animal control facility, but there's no animal control facility. It's
they've got kennels and stuff.
Well, but it's not,
Yeah,
I mean, if you walk in there, it's Not what you expect.
Yeah.
Y'all, well, you've probably been in
He's
there.
been.
It's not much to it, is there?
It's better than ours.
Well, yeah,
Or you have a pool yard.
it's a roof, a floor, and 4 walls. That's,
Hey, you can put him in there.
Yeah, sometimes that's, you know,
That's better
especially
than what
if
they
it's,
got.
if it's
That's
climate
better than
controlled.
what they got,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got food and water and a bed.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh, it's
if-
better than,
Out
yeah,
of the
better than
elements,
nothing,
yeah.
that's for sure.
If you could check on that, I would say that mine and Chris's challenge right now is when we do find an animal that we have to, you know,
It's got to go
Someone-
someplace safe. It's got to
Yeah.
have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
we've got to, you know, and we can't keep it out here in the park. That's not safe, you know, and it's either we have to re-release it, you know,
Right.
which defeats the purpose. But, you know, just a process of, do you want us to reach out to one of y'all to see if you want to try to rescue it? Do we, because that's a lot of time spent and during our day of trying to find a facility for the dogs, where right
Well,
now,
right,
because
there needs to be. That's what we need to decide on. There needs to be a protocol for that. So if he
Exactly.
catches a dog, he can. That's when I texted you. If you pick up a dog, send it to me
Yeah.
right away, so I can. And if anything, I can have somebody with a San Antonio driver's license pick up the dog, and take it to animal control in San Antonio. So I can at least get that number, and that dog has a chance. I'm not gonna let it get
Yeah.
euthanized.
Yeah.
At least has a chance for a rescue to see it. 'Cause out here, it has zero
Yeah.
or Julie,
Yeah.
whatever I can blow her up with while she's home. Please, you know, email this person, this person, this person.
yeah,
That's what we've been doing. So whatever protocol we need to put in place, I mean,
Yeah.
and a place to contain them. I can see if I can get some outdoor runs donated for my back. I don't use my backyard. I have like a half an acre back there. I need to fix my fence. That's why I don't use it. It's a huge hole. But they can go in an outdoor run at my house until I can find something or get someone to get them a ride. So at least they're safe, contained, and not, you know, and we can get them heartworm checked.
If
and
I could
whatnot.
get an outdoor runner too, I could put him in mine. I'm working
have
on
crates
closing
for
my
you.
fence. Yeah.
because that's the struggle too. If
yeah,
it's
where
late
to
in the
put 'em.
day and, you know, 3-4 o'clock, we're
Yeah.
closing at 5. What do we do with these dogs? We don't have
As long
anywhere
as
to
they
keep
Right, and
them.
it's costing you money to board them. That's
It
the
is,
struggle.
yeah.
And I'd rather that money be used towards providing a
Saving
spay and
the
neuter
dog.
service or sponsoring. I mean, a box of 25 microchips is only $250.
Wow.
And they
So-
probably come with a reader.
Yes, there's a package for 300. You get 10 microchips and a reader.
You need to put that on your list. For
But
the
I have
next
to order
meeting.
it. I'll have to order it through the rescue discount. I have a girlfriend that can order it.
But we just need to,
But put that on your list of things to acquire. But I mean, we
Yeah.
just ordered a box of microchips, and that's something I can do. You don't have to do that at the vet.
Yeah.
And I can do all vaccines except the rabies.
I was about to say I can also do vaccines.
so
only
as-
vets can do rabies now.
yes, you have to have a vet.
Because you can
certificate.
buy their, I don't know about here, but I know in Houston, you can buy them at the feed store.
We still can here.
Okay.
What,
only been here a year.
vaccinations?
Vaccinations,
But
yeah.
And
rabies.
it's a cheaper package to
Yeah.
buy it and you just.
Well, that way the owner, you know, if I'd rather that money go towards helping the community versus housing a dog. That's a
Yeah.
waste, that's a waste of money,
Yeah.
a resource. You know, if you have some place to house it for free, I'd rather do that than and then be able to provide the dogs that need help.
the help they need.
Right, and sponsoring a vaccine clinic or whatever. Because I can order all the vaccines online
There you go.
That's
and
cool.
do it. I mean, that's what I do with my dogs.
So do we want to
That's
set
what
a
I do mine,
protocol that a dog gets trapped by a citizen? Chris is obligated to go get it. What's the next step?
Well, he can be housed at one of us, and we need to find out. We need the chip reader to see if it's chipped, and then if it's not, I guess we have to hold it for how many days before we can actually adopt it, find a home for it if they don't come looking for it.
At animal control, you have 3 days, a 3-day stray hold.
Yeah.
But by law, you're supposed to I have this dog, post it on the lost and found. You have to make an active. There's a lot of rescues that won't take a stray, like from me, unless I've actively looked for the owners. For me, if your dog isn't microchipped, I'll give you a couple days. Aren't really looking
Maybe
for
you
your
can
dog.
find
Like
a
if one of
home
my
for
dogs
him,
get
yeah.
out, I freak out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
There'll be
looking for it.
posters
So if
all
you
over
aren't
the-
freaking out, the dog is now mine.
Right.
Yeah.
To
To be
and posters,
adopted out.
put it at Valero or what the community is used to. We have to start with what the community is used to. Next
Yeah,
door,
next door.
the lost and found at the Valero, and
And
Dollar
then-
General.
And then after
Start
that,
with
if nobody's contacting us, then we need to find placement for the animal.
So are y'all
know?
saying as of right now, don't, until you speak with Deason, if we get an animal like tomorrow, contact one of y'all and say,
Pretty much. I
What?
mean, I would think
That's,
she's already
I'm fine
doing
with that.
it.
I mean,
She's
that's
already
that's
doing
already
it.
what
Yeah.
I do every
And
day
I'm gonna
anyways.
pick up. We're gonna get. I call him Buddy.
Yes.
I give him a name,
I'll
Buddy. I
get-
go call
we'll
him
get
Buddy,
into
and he
the
comes
vet.
out.
I have
Yeah.
a crate for you. I'll bring it this week.
so he
Yeah.
contacts one of y'all and says, I've got a dog, where do you want me to put it? Your house?
Right,
But
and I'll
neither
and
of
I'll
y'all have
disperse-
runners yet.
Right, I have some crates, and y'all have crates. If I can just get someone to hold it until I can get to it, we can scan it. You know, just
You have a scanner at home?
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
I
Okay, but you can
borrow
get
We
it
have to
scanned.
run them up to the vet to see if they're scanned right.
that, or I can borrow one for a couple days. It'll be fine.
Okay, I mean, I
Until
can,
y'all get one, it'll come real fast if you order one.
we'll have to probably pass it by council to get it approved.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Definitely
I mean, I
need
can
a
get
runner,
one
I
ordered.
because
think
don't
you
have a
can,
fenced-in yard.
because we approved some money for
If you
veterinary, for.
Come across those.
For animal control
Yeah.
I'm
already.
gonna see if I
so.
can get the.
Then I'll
The
call
large
Lynette
outside
tomorrow.
dog.
think so.
Lynette, I'm gonna call you tomorrow about ordering that chip.
I don't know
reader.
what's a good
Yeah,
brand to
chips.
get. I mean, what's,
I mean, as long as it's universal, that it'll read other chips, right?
I'll research which one for you to. I'll look tonight.
Okay.
And I'll look for you.
So I don't have to pass it by council, we can get it
I
done.
don't think so.
And,
Yeah.
that way.
But I think it,
because I don't
as far
think
as
we
like
spent all the
starting
money.
educating
Yeah,
the
we
community,
didn't.
offering and sponsoring vaccines and microchipping, like sponsoring microchipping dogs to get started, and then telling them now this is how we're going to do this. If we pick up your dog and it's not microchipped, here's your opportunity, and then disperse information that way, because there's people that just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
they're
good idea.
they just don't
Yeah.
have any clue that their dog supposed to have what.
Even
Yeah.
people who
I
have
live
a
out in the country.
microchip are not.
They don't
They're not
register them.
registered.
They think it's a
So
GPS.
just because you put the
You know?
microchip doesn't mean it's all safe and dandy.
Yeah, it's gotta get
You still have to
registered.
register it. And
Right.
so many
They
people
don't know who it
don't
belongs
register them, So
Right.
there's still
I think
Lost.
that's something to talk about if you want to run that by sponsoring a microchip clinic.
Okay.
To start there, to get information out to residents.
maybe a microchip clinic and a pet vaccine. Because
Right. So Wellness on Wheels used to come out here. They don't come no more?
I think what happened was the people that came out, because they used to go at Dave and Don's right there on Mathis Road, not far from Jack's Corner Store. And they
That's my
were
side. I
allowed
live on
to.
that side.
Gosh,
Oh, okay.
if Dollar General would just let us put up a booth there, we'd probably catch just about everybody that
doubt
lives
they-
out here.
Yeah, I doubt they would.
They
Everybody
won't,
goes
have you
to
reached
Dollar
out to them?
I was gonna
No.
say
Dollar
I know
General?
I can't think of his name right now, but the regional manager, you might. Not the lady there at the store, but
or
I bet
in the
if we
strip
spoke to
center,
her,
like
she
if we
would.
could put
Wait.
stuff
Or
up.
even there. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
it's
Damon would
behind
allow it.
there.
Dollar General is, did they buy that property straight out?
From Damon, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
they
their-
bought it.
But
Or
Damon
even
would
your-
probably
yeah,
let
strips
us.
that
You
the-
can have it at the strip center and just put
Behind
up
it.
signs at the Dollar General, like you see at HEB, upcoming this and this. This is what's coming.
Yeah.
At the Valero, at the Dollar General, put the signs.
And I can see if Vanguard will come. I mean, I could do the vaccines, but if Vanguard comes out, they're mobile. They can get everything,
Yeah.
and then we can do the free microchipping.
Can't remember why Wellness on Wheels
Do we have
stopped.
to
They
have
moved
anything to do
somewhere.
with
Whoever was
vaccines?
doing it
Because I
moved.
can help you.
No,
I'm not afraid to. I mean, I've
No.
done it.
do you have nothing?
Hmm?
She asked if you have to have anything to do
Any
vaccines.
kind of paperwork
Oh.
certification because I can help her.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be more.
It's
more
gonna
for
be
a
you.
shot.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
not enough.
I mean, I can help piggyback that.
We can start. I mean, we can start with that. The highly likelihood of catching rabies is, not
Yeah.
highly, unlikely.
Yeah.
But getting parvo or distemper out
That
here,
one, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
any stray I pick up, it can come in my house. It's got to sit out on the porch until I make sure you have no nasal or ocular
Well, that's what I
discharge.
told you about Buddy. I said, I'll take Buddy, but I gotta get him checked out first. You gotta
You
get him
got to have
checked out.
like a 10-day quarantine before you
I
put
named
a stray
him
dog in
Buddy.
your house, especially out
I
here.
named him Buddy. He's
Which
a pit bull.
Oh,
Oh, the old guy?
The old guy. He
Oh,
poor baby. He
man.
don't have no teeth. I have to give
Wow.
him soft food. He's an
I'll
old guy.
talk to Mickey about, getting a newsletter out to spread the word about animal control. And then maybe sponsoring a microchip and vaccine workshop.
And you know
sounds
what? I
good.
think a lot of it's going to be very welcomed because there are people that are very frustrated with all the loose
Yeah.
animals. So it's going to be welcomed, and I think people are going to be on board and want to help get it done. or tell you know what, so and so doesn't have a fence. You need to come talk to them. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Yeah.
that's,
They
how,
want
that's the only way
somewhere to
this is
call.
going to work. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows everybody here.
Yeah.
So this neighbor's going to have to spread to this
Exact-
neighbor,
and
and
it's
this
gonna
neighbor,
happen.
and this neighbor. And so it's just going to be the power of education and resource.
Yeah.
What's available. I think it's the only way you're going to make
Because
a difference.
once they know that there is something, it is up and running.
Something's going on.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
yeah,
you
because
need
they
to come
think
solve.
everything is there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once one neighbor sees it, you need to come see that. You need to come talk to them because their dog gets out.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna
Maybe
happen.
one neighbor will tell another,
Yeah.
you better lock that dog up, they're
Yeah.
gonna come get it.
And then you'll really be bombarded with phone calls.
Man, as long as,
There you go. Make an animal control hotline.
that's what I was gonna say. Press one for
There you
animal
go.
God,
control.
but don't
Please
give
leave a
them my
message.
number.
211 or
Yeah, don't give them none of
Yeah,
our
right.
numbers. You're the only one with our
511 or
numbers.
whatever.
Something.
So, does everyone have Chris's cell phone number?
No.
Do you wanna give it out? Do you know what it
Uh-oh.
is?
He's probably like, no.
It's like, dang, do I have to give it out?
Well, I have a city phone.
It's
so
on the website anyway,
Yeah,
Prior
it's
City
the city's-
website.
It's a city
yeah,
phone.
it's-
Oh, man.
I don't know if I
It's-
put his phone
Is
number.
everybody
I
ready?
can pull
Yeah.
it up.
210-870-7894.
And it's Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
And then he's got everyone's on here, if he needs to reach out to anyone. He works Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Have one of those sheets.
And again, I'll talk to you tomorrow about those 2 dogs down at Oak Hills. The mother is so sweet.
Is she good?
She's so.
How old do they think the puppy is?
Oh, it's big. It's got to be
Probably a
almost
year.
full grown.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
you think?
The ones that are.
The black one that came with Mama?
Oh yeah, it's about her size.
Yeah, almost her
I
size.
saw you
Pretty
some
big.
pictures. It's in my other phone though.
And there's 2 more that look like the black one. So it's almost like, I don't think those are her pups though, because she still looked like she was nursing. And these dogs are
Big.
a good year old.
Hmm.
So maybe there's other pups around somewhere.
We probably have them already.
And those black ones may not even be hers. I don't
Can't
know.
catch the
I probably
puppies
have
out there
one.
with Buddy. They won't come to me. They come
Uh-huh.
close.
Do y'all have? You said there's traps.
We have 2 large, very large traps.
Because
yeah.
I've got 2
And-
I can trap
puppies.
them for you.
Yeah, we
If
got 2 puppies
I'm-
that we need to get.
Get
One
them
of the
somewhere.
traps broke.
I'll trap them for you.
It did.
I'm
The one
afraid
that was
before
at
they
Nick's.
come. I don't know if they're girls or boys,
When it shirts.
but before
It's
they
gonna
come
be
in
baby
heat.
making time here right
Well,
now.
I don't
Oh,
want that.
okay.
Those. I don't want her to come
And
into
then,
mine.
as far as the cats that are here, we've addressed dogs, but if I can find us some assistance for TNRing some cats, is that something we can address as well?
Oh,
what?
I think that's an
Trap.
excellent idea.
Trap, neuter,
neuter,
release.
Oh,
Yeah.
trap neuter.
And they clip the ear.
We already have several people in the neighborhood that do the program.
Good.
Sylvia Miller is one, I know.
Okay.
But you're talking about the city sponsoring that, like paying for.
No,
or
I mean,
just
if
It's a-
having
there's,
it's-
if
I heard it
they're
was a
doing
free
it, they have
program.
vouchers.
Yeah, I heard it.
Through San Antonio Feral Cats. If they take a class, you get free vouchers. And then Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays at ACS, you go get in line at 7 and you just drop the cat up, pick it back up at 4 o'clock.
and then just re-release it.
And then, yeah, you're supposed
Yeah.
to hold them. Like males, you could re-release. Females, you're supposed to hold them for 3 days, but if you have room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you ever.
But they have to stay in the trap. You know, it's a lot of work. You got to leave them in the trap. You have to be careful how you handle them.
Yeah.
But they'll get fixed. And I
Yeah,
gotta
because we
say,
had
fine.
a cat show up at our house, and I got to look at him thinking he was in a fight, and realized his ears clipped. And I
Yeah,
said, "Hey,
he-
you can stay.
Right.
Yeah.
Take care of these mice and stuff out here."
It's not a huge problem out here. I've only
I
rescued
haven't seen too many cats. I've
3
seen more
cats
dogs.
from
I
out
think the
here.
dogs chase them away.
Probably.
Oh no,
So-
the dogs kill them, which is why there's not a huge problem out here.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
yeah. Most of the dogs out here, they've only ever lived outside, so they have a high prey drive, and so the cats
Uh-huh.
are.
But we might have
I
opportunity.
know
See,
that
and since they're not
firsthand.
neutered or
Yeah.
fixed,
Mhm.
they're
Things that
wild.
we
They tear them up.
All these cats going into the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember who
There's a
that
lot of cats.
is. Really?
All in his yard.
So
Yeah,
what,
those need to be captured. And
so we need to discuss what kind of recommendation then we can make to the city council for right now. You know,
Well,
if there is something we can do right now.
Recommend the newsletter for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Get
number
the word
one.
out.
Get the word out. That's the main thing.
Educate the public.
And,
So put something in the newsletter?
As
Or
far as
maybe even a separate newsletter.
as far as they need to contain
animal
their
control
pets, they
newsletter.
need to repair their fencing. You know, it's part of being a responsible pet owner. You've got to secure your pet in your home. You have to.
And then maybe talk about sponsor a microchip
Yes, that-
vaccination.
Coming
clinic.
soon. Coming
Yeah.
soon.
Dead dogs? Oh, the ones that.
So you still put them in a bag.
Oh. Yeah, so right now, the process for dogs that we come across dead, we've started earlier burying them where they were, but then realized that wasn't a good idea because the majority of the time it's the easement, and then, you know, people are coming through laying fiber optics and probably coming across them.
I can ask Decent about that as well, about an animal disposal fee. It's not.
Because what we've been doing is we've got lime and garbage bags.
I don't want to know about that.
Is
I
there,
bury them.
do you have a lot
but
of
not
them?
in the
You can
easement.
do-
Sometimes, I mean, you could do 2 or 3
Like
a
that
week.
baby I
'Cause I know
Let me
Elmendorf-
ask them about a disposal.
Yeah.
And then,
Because Elmendorf, they just throw them in their dumpster.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Put them in a bag and throw them in their
No.
dumpster.
Oh, we put lime in the bag at least.
Mickey and I talked about a pet cemetery out here, and I told her, I said, as long as it's not Stephen King's pet cemetery, we're fine.
Yeah, we can't keep burying them out here either.
No.
Especially
I've
with
got
it
too
being
many-
a park, you know,
I've
kids
got
are
too
playing
many
out
in my
here.
backyard already.
But I watched a police officer help a guy pick up the dog and throw it in a tiger dumpster.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Because I
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
Bear
I mean,
County?
because what?
I
There's
don't
nothing
think,
in place. What do you do? You know, there's no 311 to call out here to come pick up.
No.
You know, so yeah, there needs to be something in place for.
Yeah, what I did with the puppy.
On my
when I
side,
ran
they
over, I
just get
buried it.
left.
Yeah. Huh?
I said on my
So the
side, from
pictures
Mathis
come-
down to Star Oak, and then Mathis all the way to Hardy, they just get left.
Yeah, at least we're doing something
to
with
do
them.
something.
Yeah.
rather
No, for
than-
sure, because it just is nasty, and my
Yeah.
kids have to see that.
Yeah.
It's very distressing.
I know
It's
when
bad
you
enough
see
they've
the-
seen enough already.
When you see the vultures flying in circles,
You
it's
know, there's
like,
one there. Yeah.
where's the animal at?
Right.
well, does Tiger have any objection to us putting them in the dumpster?
They've never said anything.
They stink.
Yeah, one dead
That's
dog
ugly,
wound up
though.
in the open dumpster and it stunk when he came and picked it. He knew what it was, but it's like
I mean, if they
that
don't
might
care.
have crawled
I
in
mean,
there and
it's-
died. We didn't throw that one in there.
I mean, if they don't care, that may be the only option we have.
Well, let me see if I
Yeah,
can
right
find us a
now.
different one.
Please,
Give me an opportunity
Throw
to
it-
find something else besides.
Throwing an animal in the trash does not sit well with
And
me.
since we're on the subject of animals, I know Mickey's also looking at, and this will probably be after we get a control of the dogs, but horses and farm animals on these little lots.
Sure.
They need to find other places for these animals to live. Pigs, goats, horses.
A lot of people out here have pigs.
Almost everybody.
I saw
has.
someone on next door was like, "Where can I
There's-
buy a pig? I want to raise one." And I
Oh,
looked, and they live
Oh,
in
no,
Sandy
that was a
Oaks,
big
and I'm
goat.
like,
It was the
Pigs
baby
and
goat.
goats and
That was
horses
just like
and-
and I'm-
yesterday, right?
Yes, yesterday. And people are answering her, and I wanted to go on there and say, "No, you can't have a goat." in
But then
the
she'll
city."
be like, "Well, so and so has
Exactly.
one, and so and so has
That's
one."
why
and
I
they
didn't
have one."
address it.
So you would have it would have been a snowball effect.
Yeah.
I
would've-
didn't address it. I figure it'll get addressed later. but,
Eventually.
yeah.
And they're just putting up higher fences so
So
that
you can't see it,
when you
yeah.
drive by.
Yeah.
I know on
Which-
New Mathis, they've been right there, one of the first few houses on the
Oh, I know
right.
they've got pig
They
fences up
put a
there.
big fence up.
Oh,
around
yeah.
the
So
you won't
yard,
even
and they've
know
got
what's in
a
there.
horse in there.
Oh, it's a horse. See, that's what really bothers
You can still
me,
see it.
is
you
the
know.
horse inside of a,
Small lot.
8x8 pen or
See, and
something.
it is the law. It's 2 acres minimum for a horse.
I thought it
you
was
have-
1 acre.
It's a minimum 2 acre. You cannot have anything
Unobstructed, right?
Yeah.
And,
It's a minimum
and
2
the
acres.
county will come out and check that. Mm-hmm. They'll if anybody ever makes a complaint, they
They
will.
don't do
I don't
anything.
know.
No, they don't.
Well,
do
the people
anything.
Not here.
on the people on water would pass further down by Copper Canyon. They finally got. I mean, they had their horses right in the front yard.
Oh yeah, tied to
In
a
the
tree.
corner, yeah.
Well,
But they're
you-
all gone now.
Yeah. Well, you can't just call them one time. You gotta.
Yeah, it's got to
You
be
have to hound them.
constant.
Yeah,
to get
you
them
gotta
to
keep
do it.
calling Bear County and keep calling them, and then they'll finally do something. Yeah.
Yeah, sad.
Because if you just call them one time, they don't care.
Same with chickens. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's the roosters. It's like just get.
Well, you can have chickens in San Antonio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can
Like
only have like
4 or
6, I
5
think.
or something like
Yeah,
that,
but
yeah.
you can't have a rooster.
Oh, really? I
You're
didn't
not
know
supposed
that.
to, yeah,
No, I
not in
didn't
San
know that.
Antonio.
We can't have roosters out here? My neighbor has a bunch.
Not supposed to have
Property,
roosters.
property fighters.
You can have chickens, no roosters.
I guess
Because a lot of people think you have to have a rooster to have an egg.
Yeah, you don't need.
No.
The rooster has nothing to do with that egg.
No, only if you want to fertilize it.
Cannot say.
Anything
This is,
else?
well, that just goes to show the community that we live in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
so
procedures for making recommendations would be just what, like maybe y'all's last meeting of the fourth
That would be the
Monday
last
of the
meeting, yeah.
month, just have things ready for recommendation
Yes. I
for
think
the
so.
following.
Okay.
and I guess, I mean, I think we should have at least one thing recommended for the city council to do before we leave here today.
She's got it written down already.
The newsletter then?
The newsletter, and then maybe
Okay.
sponsoring a microchip and vaccine
Right.
workshop, because you said you can buy a couple of hundred
I'll have it
microchips.
all ready for you tomorrow.
Okay.
The pricing.
Yeah, she's gonna research
Okay.
it tonight.
So I can get you the bundles together and we can see what I can order.
And
That way you'll
educate
know how much.
educate the public,
And educate
whether
the public
it's
as much either-
newsletter
yeah.
or.
Yeah.
But
And, okay.
I think what we
Because
a
in the
good
newsletter
idea-
is where you're gonna tell them, you know what, this is what needs to be
Yeah.
done. This is what's expected of you as a pet owner. You know.
I think in the newsletter, if we looked at the ordinance, which is so high tech, and just dissect it into
Yeah.
Make it
layman's
more
terms.
Put it in people reading terms so they can
Relative
understand.
to an everyday person.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
And
even
the
if
things
we,
that are happening now,
Don't type it
not.
off.
and even if
Feed
we don't have a
them.
means to enforce it right now, we could at least be putting the information out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I said, that was Mickey's goal when she got
And
into
let
office.
them know
was
that there
educate.
are going to be consequences
Yeah.
if these actions are not taken. If you cannot secure your pet in your fence, there are going to be these consequences.
I don't
If
know
you
if
have
there's
your
an
pet
ordinance in
tied
here
up,
about, I
there
don't
is
know
a
if there's
consequence.
anything in here about a fence.
That's what I was looking for.
No,
too.
it's about containment.
Yeah, I don't think there's, that might be one of the first recommendations we make, that the city council add that to the ordinance.
Because we had a
Well, that was
lady.
my main thing.
Yeah.
They've got to have a fence.
There's a lady that lives right outside of the park, and she's got 3 dogs, and the blue heeler was snapped at the baby, so she put it on a runner out back. But she came to us to make sure that it's a fenced-in yard, but it digs out. So she's got the whole length of the yard, and it's on a runner. But she says she goes out there 3 times a day, lets it off, feeds it. Well, but she wanted to make sure that she was in
See, now
compliance
that's what
with
you
it being
do,
on a
though.
runner.
That's good, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
that's,
that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
That's
got
better
water,
than
it's
it-
got food, it's got
Yeah, and it's better than
That's
accommodation.
it in
being
there
tied
full
to
of
a
pee and
tree.
poop.
No,
You know,
yeah.
that's as long as you are responsible about it, then yeah.
And luckily, she came to make sure.
So, I mean, that could be one of
The
the,
biggest thing is people need to have a fence. They need to have
amending
a
the
fence.
ordinance.
yeah, you would be amending the ordinance to, if you have a pet, to have a fence.
We had a situation last
that could
week
be
where someone in San
one of the
Antonio,
First things we can say.
the one on 151,
ACS.
ACS called Chris because I guess someone that lives out here, their dog was in
Because it
San
is illegal to
Antonio
have your pets tied
with a
up.
family owner or something to get
Yeah, some cities allow a
impregnated
runner.
Yeah, a runner.
Well,
yes,
she
but
got
not tied
out
to a tree.
of the fence
Yeah,
yard
no,
in
that's
San
different.
Antonio and bit someone.
because
So
the
San
dog runs
Antonio
out of
picked the
places
dog
where to go
up
pee and poop,
and
and then it
deemed
just
it
starts.
Yeah.
dangerous.
Sure.
So then, because the actual owner lives out here, they contacted Chris to say, okay, this dog is dangerous and we just need to let you know. And she called back today, Chris wasn't here. And I said, nope, can't come back in our city. We've got an ordinance, it's unlawful to have a dangerous animal.
Okay, so my problem with that is if you're going to deem a dog that way, there's it needs to be assessed. Is it really, why did it bite that person? Because that dumbass person reached for it
No,
the wrong
no,
way?
it was all investigated. This one,
Right.
they
Like if there's
got
proof,
out. Yeah,
right, if there's proof and there's documentation that the dog is
danger. Yeah,
been deemed dangerous, not just by ACS. Those ACOs are not behaviorists or have any
this was some sort of
training.
a deputy of some, like a trained animal
She's a
control,
detective.
A what?
a detective, a
Like
vicious animal
I was about to say, what
detective,
kind of
or so I
detective?
can't remember her actual title.
It's probably,
Because there's different
It's
situations.
probably a
If the dog
separate
is
class you
ill
gotta
or
take
not feeling
to-
well, it will
I'm
cause
gonna
them
ask
to
about that.
be a
Anyways,
little
but I
bit
mean,
aggressive.
I wouldn't deem it aggressive unless you know, like, for instance, you knew that this animal, you had documentation. But just to say it's mean because it bit somebody,
Why did it bite?
Why did it bite
Yeah.
Because you agree.
You come
if-
in
if
my
the dog is
house,
ill, yeah.
my super nice black lab that would never bite anybody, but you come near me, you're not gonna make it out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
aggressively.
saying? So
Mhm.
there's got to be
well, there's even stuff in the state law about how to do that.
right. You have to. It has to be investigated.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah,
do
this
thing.
one was like, I would say, a good 5-page investigation.
And it
In
even has to
addition,
wear,
That's good. That's
yeah,
good
I
that
mean,
they
it
just
was
didn't-
it
right.
was
they
jotted
have to wear a
down.
certain collar and all kinds
Yes,
of
there's a
stuff.
lot of criteria that goes
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, because if dog's not feeling well or whatever.
There's a lot of variables why
Yeah,
it bite.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
If the
supposedly
dog
this one
is-
just,
yeah.
I guess a guy was walking
Might
down the
even be in
street
here.
and
What
they
we have here.
just started attacking at the fence and it finally gave and went out and bit him in the calf.
Nice.
Yeah, and I guess he needed stitches, I'm not sure, but, yeah, but
Did they leave the dog there? What they do with
it was
dog?
still at ACS as of
It's a 10-day
today.
quarantine.
It was quarantined.
It's a 10-day
It did
quarantine.
not have rabies, and then they were going through the process of finding out who the owner is.
But had it had
Here it
any
is right
previous things happen
I
with
don't
the dog?
know, not out here that we know of, but once they determined it was an aggressive and dangerous dog, they had to let us know before giving it back to the owner. And our answer was, we can't accept it back in the city knowing that it's an aggressive dog
With a history with a bite history.
with a bite history.
Yeah, it's included in here, actually. What we got?
What page is that?
6 of 13, I guess, is what that means.
She's a dangerous dog investigator, field training officer.
Interesting.
It's probably just another course that an animal control officer has to take, probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably a course.
I circled my page.
Because an animal control officer can take courses for different things.
Yeah, but I guess this
To
one
be qualified
investigates.
to
it.
do
She's the one that
certain
deemed it vicious.
There's even one I think you have to learn how to do the investigations and stuff like that. Okay. So
What about Chris taking the class to be able to euthanize a suffering animal if he comes across one?
We would have to ask Chris if that's something he's comfortable
Or if
doing.
that's
or-
something I did.
Did you take?
Have I taken it? No,
Oh,
but there is a
okay.
class you can
Yeah.
take, and I've
Yeah.
often thought about it because I saw somebody hit a dog right in front of me, and she
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah. How do you put that down without?
What do you do?
It took me
you know?
45 minutes to get to town,
Yeah.
you know,
while it
or
suffered.
even for me to get to Decent. You know, that's not fair. She had
Yeah.
to lay there like that.
I can talk. I'll talk to Chris tomorrow. I don't want to put him on
That's
the
you
spot
have to
now.
do that.
I don't want to put him on the spot and say, "What do you think about
Because that's
euthanizing
a hard
dog?"
one. I think I would cry the whole time.
Oh, I could do it.
To
I
put
work
it
at
out
a
of
vet
its
office.
misery.
Yeah,
I mean, I work
I
in
know,
that
but
office.
I would still cry.
I've seen dogs hit by a car right in front of me.
Cry baby.
It's not a lot. It's
Right,
gonna bother
baby.
me if I'll do it if I have to do it.
I mean, I know in my head it's better.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
you know, but it's just like, oh, why are you going through
But
this?
it just being
you
that
know?
we are so far out here and getting to
Yeah,
the next available
you're- that's
help
right.
is far. Even to get to town to the first emergency 24-hour place is a 30-minute plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a suffer.
okay.
Suffer.
That doesn't have to be done by a vet?
You can get a certification for it to be able to administer the
I know it's one of the
propofol.
classes that you can take through.
Yeah, but I
The animal
yeah, they
control
got a
training.
ton of
But it would be
Right,
like
I don't
on
know
a-
if there's a
it would be
prerequisite to it.
an extreme
I'll have to
situation,
look,
like
for sure.
when that dog, I mean, you just knew there was no saving it and the dog was suffering.
Right, it had to
would
be done
be-
by somebody who could assess the fact that
Yeah.
that dog is.
I just thought it had to be done by a vet because of because of the it's a
No,
drug.
ACOs in town can do it
Okay.
if they choose to take that class.
Hey, they also have a dangerous, vicious dog bite investigation,
Yeah, they got all
Class.
kinds of 'em.
equine, mental health.
You could be in class all year doing
We're
all
gonna have
those.
you in class all year. Are you up for it?
They have an advanced certification course.
Well,
Okay, are we on number 8?
yes.
I think we did that already.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we kind of did that when we were talking about the other stuff, but, so, can we all, there was, well, you didn't really say there was a motion, but did you want to make a motion that we recommend to the city that a fence requirement be added to the ordinance?
Yes.
Yes, motion.
Who made? Missy made the
Yep.
motion?
I'll motion. Amend the
Right?
ordinance.
I mean, that's.
Yes, you have to make a motion so he can address it.
No,
with the
no, but I'm
city.
saying, it's agreement,
I-
that,
yeah.
that's like a big priority. It's
We
like
just
a
have to
big
do it
one.
officially.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes,
all.
yes.
To amend the ordinance to require fence?
Yeah.
Fencing if you have a pet.
And I can, and everybody else can too, research. I'm sure other cities have that in their ordinances. We don't have to rewrite it or think about it. We can probably just copy.
It's mostly a homeowners association
Well,
ordinance.
we can look there too then.
That's
Okay.
what I run into, and I do know that there's a nonprofit that helps build fences for people who can't afford it.
All right, so we can make that. Is there any other, does anybody else? Oh, we got to vote. Everybody in
Did you
favor?
get a
to second
second?
it?
Who seconded?
Somebody did.
She can,
I-
Luann
I
can
heard
second
it.
it,
I second it.
and then you have to vote.
Yes, everybody in favor.
Unanimous?
Aye.
Is there, and is there another recommendation y'all want?
I think that's the biggest one. If you
I
make
think
a
so.
fence and
I
you
think
keep
it's
your
a
pet
big
in there,
one.
that'll help us really find the really strays, the
Mm-hmm.
abandoned dogs, and make the owners responsible for their own pets. That's the bottom line.
Because, I mean, I know that, and somebody said something a while ago about mandatory chipping, because
That should be in the ordinance, no?
let's see.
I don't think it is either.
I don't remember reading it, but I don't remember
The
everything.
vaccines should be in there for the microchip.
I think the vaccines is in there, the chipping is something new. So, yeah,
Right.
that might not be in
Yeah, I
there.
think the chipping is something new too.
So I don't think that's gonna be
I
in
make a
there.
motion that we amend to add microchipping to the ordinance.
Yes.
I agree, or what do you say?
Second.
A second.
And then we have to vote.
And then everybody in favor?
Oh,
Hey, we
See,
got
that's
another one.
easy.
Right.
We made another
on the
decision.
same
huh?
Oh,
page.
you, Lynette, and who seconded?
Luann?
Luann?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Unanimous?
Yes.
and then it's up to the city council to vote to do it, but,
I
okay.
don't see them not doing that. I really don't see them not doing any of that.
I don't know how many of the dogs have.
Okay.
Need to find any information on the.
Okay, let me get microchip, package, scanner.
Need to figure out what else you have to take before this.
Is it pre?
I couldn't read anything about pre, it just says
I think that would be the main
part
one.
of classroom curriculum.
Would I need to take any kind of
Just
class
as
to help you do
continuing
that
Yeah, it says level 1 to 3.
for the vaccinations or no?
Hold on, I'm writing my thoughts. Microchip, scanner, Eason. Okay, what you got?
Would I need to take any kind of class to help you do the vaccines or?
No.
Okay.
If you can buy them at the feed store, you can do it.
Okay.
Did I ever send you this?
No, I've never
website?
done it here, but I did it in Houston, in
It's easy,
Florida.
girl. I'll help you.
I don't have a problem doing the shower, just to buy them where, you know.
I'm gonna order them.
Okay.
I think I lost
I
mine.
used to actually breed Yorkies and Pomeranians
And I guess also what we'll have to do is,
many, many years ago.
I mean, I don't think we can do it tonight, but come up with the procedure about contacting you, like you said, and getting everything done that y'all require to get done.
That's kind of what we're doing right now. Is Catherine will
Yeah,
call
because if they're
Julie.
chipped and they're vaccine, we know that they're.
The procedure's going to change.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's
Okay.
Catherine calls Julie, and then I sit and whatever.
Did you want to write it down so that
Sure.
that way, we can make sure we follow
You
it
can
every time?
make it temporary, please. Temporary protocol for picking up
Yeah.
an animal.
Yeah, we don't have to make a
That way
motion
I can
or
work.
anything on that.
I feel bad that the dogs have no chance.
Yeah.
And if I can work on placement, it may,
Yeah, and if we can house them until she can work do the placement.
Right, at least if you take
that's
them
the
to
goal.
the vet.
Time.
yeah.
But I know the attorney's going to tell us, you have to write it down, it has to be,
Totally fine. No, as long as it's
that
being
way.
able to be amended
yeah.
because it's going to change.
Oh,
once you
yeah,
start
yeah.
microchipping.
We can
then
change, we can change
If I
anything.
hold them, then they're going to pay a fee to get that dog back. You know what I'm
And-
saying?
Of course.
Yeah. And a procedure doesn't necessarily have to go before the council for approval. I think it's just something we can do without,
I think so.
I don't
I'd
see
have to
why.
ask the
yeah,
lawyer.
I don't
and
see
they
why
can-
it has to be approved by
No,
the
that's
council.
and it's that you can write that down. Are you fine with that?
That way Chris will know exactly what to do and, he'll know, he'll put phone numbers and, all the, all
So I
that
guess
stuff.
Chris will call you or you.
Who do you want to go first?
Because a citizen might ask,
Because who can answer
ask
the
you,
phone all day?
what's the procedure? And we just want to be able to tell them, exactly
Sure.
what we're doing.
So
Sure.
and then she can.
Then she texts me. I can't talk on the phone all day, but I can text pretty much all day.
Because a lot of people get very emotional about their pets, and if we don't know where they are after we pick them up, it's,
Right.
A
Well,
lot of them do, but unfortunately, we have too many that don't.
oh, I know.
right.
Well,
I'm just.
I
I don't have a place to house them as of yet. I mean, I could work on that.
can
But
remember.
I mean, as far as contacting me, and then I will get with
Yeah.
Decent tomorrow and see if we can come up with something. But
I think along with that procedure, if Chris picks them up or if y'all pick them up, that we implement the taking picture and
Immediately.
immediately
For sure.
and get it out there. Get
Sure.
it out there.
Yeah.
Because and you're going to run into all kinds of people. I can remember when I was taking the trap after I took the course, the animal control officer course. I was taking the trap to people to trap dogs, and I would put the trap in their yard, and I'd see a dog wander up, and I'd say, "Oh, is that the dog you want to catch?" And they say, "Oh no, that's mine."
Running the streets.
Running this, and I'd say, "Well, if we catch your dog, we're gonna keep it." And they would say, "Well, then we don't want the trap."
Yes.
And remember, Chris is the
So
certified officer, so it's
gonna run
his
into
discretion
all-
if he has to take it to the vet, of
Yeah,
course, too.
it's
I mean, if he
just all
finds
kinds
it
of things.
Too dangerous for people to be housing, then it might have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
So we'll
oh
still.
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's the main
for sure.
thing.
I mean, you have to know. I don't want anybody else handling a dog who doesn't know.
Right,
That's-
Yeah, we'll always defer to
For
Chris
sure.
on what's
And that's
best.
kind of like what we're doing now because she's going to take Buddy to the vet. I told her I'll keep him till we find somewhere to take him. But I have my fur babies at home, so I've got him to be healthy and not carrying anything so I can bring him around my home because I have mine,
Yeah.
And another thing that y'all might run into is after we start doing this, people might call y'all. Citizens will
That's
probably
not,
pick
that's
up.
not unfamiliar to me.
I know, but I don't know how much you want them to do that. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So.
I'm one.
Yeah,
And I'm fine with it if I can help.
Okay.
It does not.
Okay.
we'll get a control of it, and then eventually we'll all just be
It's-
bored because there's no dogs around to capture.
That's
I hope
the
so.
goal. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's what we're
think
trying to
it.
get.
Small as a city as we are, I don't know why we couldn't get that
That
way.
we should be able to get a
Yeah,
handle
we can
on
get a
it.
handle.
I don't know why we don't.
If we
then
work
we should-
together and
yeah.
get the community on board, it should
Yeah.
be able to. And I think it will because a lot of people are frustrated with it. So I think we do have help. They just don't they don't know who to turn to or how to do it.
And just continue to, I mean, I know a lot of it's out on social media. I don't respond to it. I know
Yeah,
that there's
be
complaints
careful.
about
Be
dogs,
careful with
but,
that.
I mean, the proper procedure is contact someone in the
Yeah.
city, so,
That's
that's, you
what
know.
And they
keep
just don't
telling
know
I
that.
know you do,
So we
right,
can
yeah.
tell them, hey,
Yeah,
now
and I
you
know
need to
Missy
call,
does
you
it
need
a
to
lot.
report
She's
it.
like, you need to call and get the number, you know, I mean, it's on the city website. They can send me an
Well,
email.
I can only
Not
tell you
even
that.
But every time somebody starts complaining, I like, this is the phone number. I've got it friggin' memorized already because I have to give it to them so much.
I've been on the council for a long time, and I'll see hear about people and see people complaining on social medias about stuff, and I never get an email about anything.
Oh, yeah, no,
Nothing.
So how do they expect anything to be
Keyboard
done?
warriors.
Yeah, they think
You
that
know,
we
just
sit there
nothing.
and monitor
So,
social media, and we don't. You know, it's like, well, the
It's-
job is for
so-
the, contact us.
so answering people on social media, you're now on the committee. You know, just be careful.
And if you know of anyone else that might be interested, I mean, we don't have to keep it down to
Just
five
five.
members, but, plus us. You can.
Right.
So if you have any questions about what you can and can't say on social media, the attorney can help you.
I already know.
I'm just,
away.
it gets freaky after
Yeah,
you.
well, people try to cross the line all the time.
What about adding that lost and found on the city website?
Oh, I could just do that. That doesn't need, there's
And what
no
about doing like
motion.
an official on the Facebook, not just a random one?
I
Like
can
an
make a lost
official-
and found Facebook page and
For-
watch it
Yeah,
for Sandy
Sandy
Oaks.
Oaks, yeah.
And be the administrator of
Sure.
it? So like if Chris should have pictures, he can send them to you and you want to post
I'll
it?
post them and,
And
and
I
you
can
can
do
add
those-
that on the newsletter. Hey, this
Well,
is
that'll
where.
Okay.
That's how.
'Cause I know that
that's
there's
how
an
I
animal-
do anything. You want me
Yeah.
to save a dog? I'm on social media. That's.
I
without
know that there's one out there right now and it's got something to do with Sandy Oaks
Animal Coalition.
Yeah, and it's not the official. I mean, we don't really, the city doesn't even have an official
No, and it was
webs
from,
or, because Mickey's the one that started the City of Sandy Oaks one, but it's not like official. It wasn't voted on by council or whatever. I mean, we might have to do that. I can ask Mickey about if we have to vote on it.
Yeah.
Creating
find
an
out what
official.
you-
an
what you need to
official
do, and
Sandy
I'll
Oaks
do
Lost
it.
and Found.
I can have
I'll let
We
you
could be,
know.
and then all us on the committee could be admins on the page for sure.
I don't know if we have to, we might have to, who knows? The attorney, that's an attorney
We're
question.
learning.
Yeah, it's fast that way.
But again,
That's an
I know
attorney
there's one
question.
out there that's called Sandy Oaks Animal
Well,
Coalition.
that way it's
or
documented.
something.
It's that is a proof
And
of
it's the official
documentation
one.
that we're looking for the owner.
Right,
That help.
that's
That'll help
true.
me because several
Hey.
rescues won't take it unless I have jumped through 9
Yeah.
hoops to prove that this dog is not owned.
And if it's on there and then on the city website,
how-
And we
that
post
should
lost
be,
and found posters. Right.
that should be.
So that's
fine.
what they require you to do then?
Oh, yeah,
A
you have to
couple.
make
I
the
tried
effort.
to get this senior dog into who was it? Poquito Paws. They take a bunch of senior dogs. It's a dog I picked up off of Top Wine and 35. Right in front of Lackland. No, not chipped. No one's looking for her. We put it out to next door. Okay. And so I don't want to have to pay for this dog. So I'm trying to find a rescue to take it. And she needed medical care. And they're like, we will only take this dog if, and it was like A through Z, if I do all this. And I'm like,
Crap.
I'd rather just pay for the dog. Like, seriously? I don't have time for that. Like, my time is limited. I have time to do A, B, and C, absolutely. But you're asking, it's too overwhelming. So, but there are rescues. Well, it's just because it's a huge lawsuit. If I rehome someone's own dog,
Yeah.
it's a huge problem. So that's why there's.
Well, do you have a place to do that, or right
do what?
now, to do all that stuff that you're saying?
What do you mean?
To announce, or to show the pictures of the dog? and all that?
No, that's
I-
what she's gonna find
That's what that
out.
lost and
what
found page is for.
That's what we want to
So
do.
I
We're
can,
trying
I
to
can,
find
I
out.
can. Let me put that on there so people can be educated about how to post for your lost and found pet.
Yeah.
Like you could post it at ACS website. There's a couple different things you can do, and then there's this one website that makes the flyer for you.
Oh, yeah, I use that when my dog got out.
Yeah.
You want
My
to
dog
adjourn
got out and
before
I
we
went
get off
by and
topic?
found her like 4 hours later.
Yes, because my kids are starving.
Yes, we can. What, you gotta make a motion to it.
Someone
I
needs
make a
to-
motion to adjourn.
I second it.
16.
Do we need would a bulletin board here help?
Yes.
Yeah.
A bulletin board
everything
here.
we can do.
Because if you put a
Bolero,
bulletin
Dollar
board and you
General.
post certain things, that there people will come and read it. And even for the lost pets, pictures.
Well, I mean, that would give you one more way to show that
Yeah,
you're trying to
find the pet,
find
find the owner.
it.
Yes, because you don't want to upset the community by starting off just thinking we're picking up dogs without.
Just like random. Yeah.
Just random because they suck.
We're only picking up,
Because they're not responsible pet owners.
we're only picking up the dogs that cost a lot, so we can keep them.
Right? That's what they say. You just want them, my full-bred dog. If your dog was in your yard, I wouldn't be having it. If you,
There you go.
this goes back to if you had a fence, you would still have your pet.
I think I could probably leave for a week and my dog would be on the front porch when I got home.
Oh, gosh.
He's so stupid, he won't go.
Mine is silly. She gets out and can't find her way back. So it's only happened once.
Yeah.
After that, we don't let her, we don't,
He's
oh my
not the
God.
smartest dog, but.
Did you turn the recorder off already, Heather?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good meeting, everybody.
Oh,
See you later.
I got to announce what time, I didn't announce what time it is.
No, I did.
Oh,
It was
okay.
8:16.
Okay.
Fine.
All righty.
Thank
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Bye.